push your mind to a limit where it needs to be. I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find.
What's up, everybody? Still trying to figure out how to work that best of my abilities. We're going to get it right, though, eventually. But, guys, welcome to Tino's Time. And you know what today is. It's Thursday. We'll be here later tonight at 7 o'clock for another WrestleMania Retro, as we are 4 weeks away from this Saturday to WrestleMania 40 in Philly. But today, it's Thursday, and it's time for our new regularly scheduled programming back like it was in the summer, every Thursday, 5 o'clock. Southside boys. We're going to get you ready for the baseball season, talk the White Sox, the MLB, and everything in between. So let's not waste any more time here today, guys, as it's episode number 2. It's the first episode as we talk about everything, as Deech and I were here last week to get you ready for the 2024 season. But all the boys are back together here today. So let's get Deech and Justin in here, and let's get everybody, and let's get ready to talk some baseball. So what's up, Deech? How you doing, bro? Thanks for coming and hanging out. And then,
how's it going?
What's up?
The end of the game here. Got Corey Lee up to bat. So
you gotta love Corey Lee. Gotta love it. I'm so excited. I mean, it's kind of nice to have semi three good catchers, I guess, with Maldonado and Edgar, and then I guess Corey Lee. I guess it's better than Gomes. Yes, Gomes. Yes. But today, we got the third guy back, and it's in the title. Guys, it's time to welcome back Justin. He hasn't been here since Christmas. He wasn't here last week, so let's get Justin back in the channel, back on Tino's Time, and back on the Southside boys.
What's up, fellas?
What's up, Justin? Was that a good intro? I tried my best. I was trying to make.
I feel very honored. That was
Did
nice.
you feel honored?
Yeah.
So, Justin, how you been doing? Catch us up a little bit. We haven't seen you since the Christmas time. How you feeling? Warm weather and everything. What's your excitement level for the White Sox? Are we winning the World Series this year?
No.
He said, no.
That's also my excitement level for the team as a whole. No, I mean, getting ready for March Madness, obviously. St. Patty's Day, it's a fun time of the year. And then we got baseball right after that to ruin my summer. So what could be better? I
mean, that's very true. I kind of forgot about March Madness. I don't know. There's so much going on right now. March Madness kind of like, I don't know. I used to be very into it, and there's a few years I think I got to like 16, and that was like the farthest I got. But there's just a lot going on right now, and I mean, I don't know. I just like that we finally are having some warm weather a little bit here and there. I'm tired of the up and downs, but when we get it, I try to take advantage of it. So, you didn't get season tickets like Deech did, right? You don't get season tickets, right? You just go individually.
I'm not going to go at all.
You're not at all. Not one game this year. What?
I went twice last year. I will not surpass that. Not unless they really surprise me. No, I don't want to go watch, if you can believe it, these players.
He said, I don't want to watch these players.
They've done nothing to entice me to want to go watch them. I used to not care if they were good or bad, and I'd still go, but they've just left such a
bad taste
in my mouth the last couple of years. And they're only digging a deeper grave with this asking the state for $1 billion bullshit. And they're just so out of touch. It seems like they've hired a lot of good people and that it's moving in the right direction. This team will be easier to watch than the past couple of years, even if they don't win. They certainly won't win the 81 games that the team 2 years ago won, but they can play defense, run the bases, whatever. Like Grady Sizemore is brought in to help them with outfield defense and base running. Like, thank God. Obviously, Darryl Boston was terrible at doing those jobs.
Who would have thought we'd be relying on Grady Sizemore after all these years?
That was one of the more exciting hires for me. I probably mentioned it on the call we did in December.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, I'll take it. I just remember watching games with him and him just stealing first, second, third. Go. There was a few times. He was just incredible to watch.
Injuries derailed him, but he was a great player.
Did you see the story about Grady Sizemore that came out?
No.
Oh,
I saw the headline, but I didn't read it.
So when he wanted to get into more, I guess, the coaching aspect in the majors or just with a major league club, he apparently was close with Josh Barfield because Barfield did, I believe, play on Cleveland with him at some point, didn't he?
That sounds right.
Yeah, he did. I feel like he was part of one of those teams with Struble, Cabrera, and all of them. You remember Struble?
Yeah,
Of course.
Of course, yeah, right. Who could not forget about that? But yeah, no, that's
Skip up the middle.
So apparently Sizemore wanted to coach or be involved so bad that Barfield was pretty much like, I don't really have much in the budget to sit there and give you. So he was a $15 like intern.
I saw that. That's what I saw. I was curious what that was.
Interesting. Okay.
And so Barfield hired him here?
Yeah, I'm guessing that's kind of – it seems to be there. Getz and Barfield at least seem to be working together, which is more than Kenny Williams and Rick Hahn ever did. So,
I mean that's a start, right?
Well, you just
like simply the way that Getz has been. At least if Getz was an internal hire, at least he has been willing to make external hires, and what seemed like sharp ones. Like this Bannister dude's traded Gregory Santos 3 times or whatever the hell. Is that true? Is that did I just like?
So how do you feel? We don't got Sleepy Santos no more. Are you gonna miss him?
No, I thought that was a great trade.
He started with Boston. He was on San Francisco, and then obviously they must see something with Santos that he's not going to sustain what he did last year.
Well, we're supposed to trust Bannister, and so that he's traded him at every one of those stops. Has been like the overseeing pitching development or whatever the hell. That's insane.
I mean, yeah.
He hates this guy, and he's already hurt.
Yeah, and on top of that, I mean, the return we got for Santos was pretty nice. I mean, that was the draft pick one too, right?
Yeah. And then the
Prelander, Baroa, and Zach Deloche, which I mean, that's pretty much pushed Oscar Colas to probably third.
Did you see he was playing first base? I wanted to talk about that, but did you see this man was playing first base?
Yeah, because he's not going to play outfield now. I mean, you have Fletcher and Deloche that are better than him.
I think Fletcher might start it. I would put Fletcher in right field to start off.
I think that trade was tough. I understand for this season that it feels the need and whatever, but like that guy they traded, like I don't know why the fuck they gave him up.
Who did they get? What for? What Fletcher wasn't
Mena?
Yeah,
I don't Mania.
Yeah, Christian.
I don't want to say because I don't want to butcher it.
I mean, that's okay.
I did like the trade, the Bailey Horn for Matthew Thompson, because Matthew Thompson, I'm sorry, I can't be hyped up about him anymore. The guy could never find the strike zone.
No more? That was it?
The Cubs, yeah.
Yeah. And the Cubs fans were actually pissed that they traded away Bailey Horn, and now with their one young pitcher going out, they said for multiple months, Bailey Horn could have slid in as a starter for them. I mean, he was likely to make the Cubs team at this point.
Well, he's going to make the Sox.
The Sox, I would guess he'd make the bullpen. But I'm saying with the Cubs, the Cubs just had one of their top pitching prospects have some sort of arm issue, and he'll be out a couple months. So they traded away depth for essentially Matthew. It was because they needed to clear a spot for Bellinger on the 40-man. So did on that trade easily.
Yeah, I'm so tired of hearing about the Bell. That's all I see now is all the Bellinger. Oh, the Cubs are winning now because they got Bellinger. How do we know that this team's going to work the same that they did last year? I mean, they might. They very well might. They might be better. But I don't know. They hyped that guy up from the Dodgers, and the White Sox played Ring Around the Rosie, and they were looking like they were in midseason form. So
there were some Kansas City specials in that, though.
I don't. I have no sympathy for nobody. I'll take every Kansas City special that we can get. Shit.
I'm just saying. Yeah. I mean, I hate the Dodgers. I hope that.
Oh my goodness.
Pan out.
I mean, Garrett Crochet. I wanted to talk about the 2 hitters that was playing Ring Around the Rosie. That's been doing actually pretty good to start off the spring. But before we do that, Garrett Crochet looked pretty good against Ohtani, and I don't know. You guys. I'll ask both of you. I know you've watched more preseason games or spring training games. What do you think Crochet makes it as I know we kind of talk about? Do you think he makes the rotation, or do you think they kind of ease him in? Because he looked like he was gone.
I'm sure Deech has a better idea.
Yeah, Deech. What do you have?
I think, but
I would have to imagine if they're very dedicated to him being a starter, he may start in AAA to build up innings. The other option you have is technically Chris Flexen is slated to possibly be the fifth starter. You could essentially pair Crochet and use him as an opener, or to be behind Flexen on all of his starts and then have him as a long reliever until you feel he's built up enough innings. I mean, likely at the deadline, he very well could slide into the rotation, depending. I mean, we could be, if we are bad, which there's a chance that we're not even in you could trade Cease and Soroka if they're both pitching well at the deadline, and that opens 2 rotation spots, which one of them would likely be Nastrini. But other than that, I mean, Crochet, I think eventually, but opening day, I highly doubt it.
So who's the first name you said? Chris Flexen?
Yes.
And he's opening day number 5 projected as of right now.
I
would have thought that this Nastrini guy was ahead of him. But no, is it just because is it some service time? Shit?
I don't even know necessarily. Okay. I mean, I would prefer Nastrini just because at this point you're likely not winning the division, so it doesn't matter if you have a young guy out there who struggles a bit, but we'll see. I mean, that's the question mark. There was an article that came out by Scott Merkin today saying that like Kopech's spot isn't guaranteed. I'm sorry. We have depth, but there's zero purpose of putting Kopech in the bullpen when you have Crochet who needs to build up innings. That
doesn't make any sense to me. I don't even love Kopech, but of the guys in the rotation who could be in the rotation, he at least was a starting pitcher in a big league rotation last year.
And
that doesn't make any sense to me.
He added a cutter too, which will really help him.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, whatever they can do they can add, right, to help. I mean, shit, I'll take it because that's just the thing. Like, and that's
Crochet. I believe Bannister's had at least 3 or 4 guys. I know Crochet and Kopech have added a cutter this offseason. And Bannister, I know, who is it on San Francisco? Logan Webb.
Yeah.
Webb has some sort of pitch that Bannister worked with him. That's been. You're just kind of hoping. Yeah. You're just hoping on Bannister being able to kind of tweak certain things with guys and it play out. So
hopefully,
like I said, I have no doubt it'll be better. I still think that I still don't really like Ethan Katz. But if Bannister is above him, working over him, Katz. I mean, it is what it is in the games. But yeah, I'm interested to see how that rotation shakes out then. Because I mean, you can't give the spot to Crochet over Kopech. That doesn't make any sense at all. I like what you said about starting him in AAA. Because I mean, what has he ever thrown like more than 40 innings in a big league season? Even that might be high.
I don't think so.
He's only thrown like 60 innings or something.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah, then he probably will start in AAA.
He might have had 13 appearances last year, like total.
It's kind of well, it happened so early that it was kind of like he kind of just got like lost, especially how bad and how fast it went downhill and everything else like that. So
he had 54 and a third in 2021. That was his most innings.
Oh wow, okay. I didn't even know he got over 50. I mean, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised it's even that high. I mean, but that was all out of the bullpen. Maybe like occasional spot starts because they had like the 7-inning doubleheaders or whatever. But like,
oh yeah, I love those. Sometimes I miss those.
The trade from the Dodgers. Looking back at that now, Joe Kelly and Lance Lynn for Jordan Leisure and Nick Nastrini, we like robbed them. That was one of the best things Han did, like his entire time here, was sell off major league guys for prospects. Leisure, I think, makes the bullpen like for the start of the season.
Well, especially you said because I said, since we're talking about pitching, we were talking about it before. You said Jesse Schulten's tour or he's having Tommy John, so he's out for the year. And Davis Martin, he's still recovering too from Tommy John, right? Or is it ACL?
He'll be back at some point this season. He just started throwing, and they said he was hitting like I think 85 miles per hour. So I mean, he'll be okay before his arm is worked back up to I mean, I don't know how hard he was throwing before. Probably, 92, 93.
Yeah, I was going to say he wasn't a flamethrower, but 85 is alarming.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know he just started throwing again. Obviously, he'll build the arm.
Well, yeah. But I just wanted to mention Jesse because that opens up another spot that very well could have been for, So just one of those things. I feel like we're going to see a lot of new different faces that like when you do go to a game or whatever, these like people are going to go and they're going to be like, who's this? And it might even be like one of those things. At least, again, I'm hoping it is where it's like maybe like they just again, I'm not getting excited for anything, but maybe they can just show something. Like we said, fundamental defense, just playing defense is just, I mean, again, defense can do a lot of different things for you if you just can do that. So, but two guys on the batting side that have been doing great is Mr. Yohan Moncada and Eloy. What's going on? Deech, did you give them something in the offseason? Because these two are hitting the ball and doing what's correct. So, since you've watched a little bit more of the games, what are you seeing from them at the plate and everything? Is there anything different, or is it just, I don't know? Is it because it's warm?
I think Chuck actually went into it today a little bit. It was either Chuck or Schriffen during the broadcast was talking about how Eloy in this offseason, apparently his godfather, helped him make an adjustment to his swing. His hands.
Godfather?
Why aren't they working with professionals? No,
I mean,
it is
the job done, right?
If the guy's been watching him swing his entire life, that's as good of advice to seek as anybody.
I mean, maybe he also put a little something. He's like, Eloy, probably slapped him in the head a couple times.
Hey, you've watched me hit baseballs forever. Why can I only hit the ball into the ground now? Can you change that?
Yeah. Well, because he raised his hands in his stance, and then he stopped with the Tommy Pickles twisted ass leg bullshit.
Oh, did he? Okay, see, I haven't been able to watch. Like I said, I haven't seen any. I have the schedule, and I never see him on the TV.
I thought something looked different on the video that Homer Deech, and when you say he doesn't do the Tommy Pickles as you called it,
it's so good. The Tommy Pickles.
I mean, how are you to be taken seriously as a major league hitter? How did they let him go up there with his foot facing backwards?
And it had restricted him. There's no way it added reach because when you'd even try and swing that way, you're like, God, this is weird. It feels like my knee's gonna pop out.
Feels like I'm gonna ground out to the left side of the infield.
Yeah, I'm gonna ground. That's it. I mean, I'm hoping
all
that.
Did.
So I have pulled the Eloy jersey out of retirement. The Yohan Moncada one is still back there. I don't.
I told you this at Christmas. I told you this at Christmas. I sold my Moncada jersey, so watch. This man's gonna have 30 home runs this year. It was me. If that was the case, I mean, shit. I would have got rid of it a long time ago. But I don't know. I mean, what about Moncada? You said about Eloy. Did Moncada change anything in his stance, or is he March Moncada? I feel like Moncada is there's a new attitude every month.
They just said he's healthy, and I think it came to
realization.
He's doing it to get another contract. Let's just call a spade a spade. I mean,
money will talk. Money will do things to people, man. I mean,
this will be the best year he's had since at least 2021 because he doesn't have guaranteed money next season. Some poor team, and I hope it's not us, is going to pay him based off of that, and he'll go back to being a lazy sack of shit. We're worried about being in DMs and making music videos and posting Instagram lives at his barbershop than he is playing baseball.
I mean, listen. I mean,
baseball is not a priority for him, but money is, and that's why he'll play to get his contract this year.
You're not wrong, and I mean, if you look at it, that's literally all it is pictures at hotels or with studios and this and that. It's just oh my god, it's he should have just been a rapper and not a third baseman.
Yeah, or a singer. Baseball doesn't have to, he doesn't have to be Anthony Rendon talking about how his career isn't a priority in his life.
Oh my god, we didn't even talk about Anthony last week
because I know it by looking at him.
Oh my god, Anthony Rendon. We didn't even talk about him last week. That guy, man. Oh my god, I just can't with him.
He's hurt again.
I can't believe he really came out there and said that. It's why would you do that? Because I don't know. I would not want that person on my team. Why do these guys just come out? It's just I get but I don't know. It just doesn't. It doesn't make. It's this generation of baseball players, and it's so sad that it's this is what we're watching. They just don't have what the older guys had, and the guys that at least I guess we're all like pretty much the same age. So like we grew up watching like the Tomies and the Paul Konerkos and Burleys and stuff like that. It's just like, what is with these guys? It's like they don't care. And it just
I've always said that when we grew up, men played on the White Sox, and now it's. I mean, this
is it boys? Is it children? Is it like toddlers? Is it Tommy Pickle?
Like the hi mom shit that I always thought that was annoying and stupid. Like,
hi mom,
like that's so childish. Like I never that was never for me. I wasn't the target market when they tried selling that to everybody.
No.
Moncada, I mean, Tim was the guy for a minute. Like Tim was the
now he's over there in Miami. They build in the Miami White Sox.
My favorite of all of them, him and Abreu, and then obviously, things kind of went differently for him last season, and that kind of all changed.
I cannot wait to watch a Miami Astros game this year. I just want to watch them just stare at each other. Oh my God, it's so great to be out of Chicago. Oh my God, you were right. Blah blah blah. Yada yada.
Well,
Miami White Sox.
We got out when we could. I'm going to see the Marlins at Wrigley in April, actually. Funny enough, to see TA and Jake.
Are you really? Don't forget about Garcia.
Yeah.
Don't forget. Isn't there somebody else too? I feel like there's a pitcher too. I don't know. I'm sure there is. But
they still have. No, wait. Yeah. They have Avisail Garcia.
Yeah, Avi. Little Miggy.
That's.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
Yeah, in the video they showed for the Marlins, they're like, "Welcome TA," and that was the first person he went up to. He's like, "Come here, brother, I love you." I'm just like, "Get the hell out of here with your ass." And then somebody did the Photoshop of him when he hit that home run against the Yankees. It's like, what the hell? Go away. I don't want to deal with it no more. So, but that should be really interesting. I know I asked you this Deets last week. Do we play every team again this year? I forgot.
Yeah.
Do we? Okay. Well, that will be fun to see. Let's go to the Miami game and let's just boo TA. Get front row seats.
I don't dislike TA.
Either do I.
I'm not rooting against him, but I really could not stand the people on Twitter who'd be like, I don't understand why they don't just bring TA back at this point.
Oh my God!
They let him walk in the first place.
Don't get me started on the cry. We talk in wrestling. We got the Cody crybabies right now. I mean, I can't deal with the TA crybabies and the Jake Berger crybabies, man. It's just like, just stop.
The Berger trade that was really fucking bad though. Like,
oh no, I agree with you. It's like it happened. It is what it is. We can't change it. Why are we gonna have a picture of Berger in our house and look at it?
Some people are oddly obsessed with him,
or like the Romy Gonzalez. Like we had Romy for a minute, a season, and all of a sudden all these girls are like, oh my God, I'm sad he's gone because he's hot. Like,
I was gonna say that's
go away. Like, come on,
that's at least a little bit different.
I mean, no, I know. I was just throwing people's names out there, but anyway. So, is there anybody Deets that you've seen though that like Vaughn or anybody else that's done anything different or because like I said, you watch more of the games than we have, so you're probably way more So, is it just do you see something different? I saw, I started listening. I didn't finish it, but the Kevin Pillar, yes, that same Kevin Pillar that was on the Blue Jays and everything. He says it's us against the world. So, is that just what you see on the field? It's them against the world. I mean. They seem happy.
They all look like they give a shit, which is 100 times better than it was last year. The whole Kevin Pillar thing, what I found most interesting about that whole interview is he straight up said that he heard very negative things from friends that he had in that clubhouse last year. But after talking to Getz and Barfield and the whole regime, they actually convinced him to still come, even though he flat out, first thing he said to them was, I'm very hesitant to sign here based off of things that I've heard from players I'm friends with in the league.
Oh my God. I did see something about that. I didn't realize how blatantly.
What team was he on last year? The Blue Jays, right?
Said the Reds. Toronto and Tampa. I can't where,
trying to think. I was trying to think if anybody got traded to them last year. I just wanted to call them out.
Probably played under Montoyo in some capacity in Toronto at some point.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. You know what he did?
That
was what. Speaking of that too, since last week, Mr. Josh Donaldson retired. Finally, Josh Donaldson is gone. And then who else retired? There was somebody else that retired, wasn't there?
I don't even know.
Oh, I thought, but yeah, Justin.
Joey Votto's like begging now.
Oh, that's what it was. That's what it is. It's Joey.
Yeah.
Josh Donaldson retired, and Joey needs to find a team. Shit, would you take Joey?
Not with our current roster, no.
No, I wouldn't either. But.
If Andrew Vaughn got hurt at some point during the season and they needed a first baseman, then yeah, I would.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense. Andrew Vaughn's one of the people on the roster they actually can't take at-bats away from, so that's the problem. I love Joey Votto. I actually think it would be sick if he played for the Sox, but
it would be such a White Sox thing to do. But I just wanted to ask because I mean, you never know, and who knows where he's gonna go? I mean, like I said, anything can happen. You're right with that, Justin. Somebody gets hurt, that team's gonna be calling right away. So
yeah, exactly.
And that, what I mean. And we got, like I said, we got 3 weeks from today, so anything can happen. I mean, I still have PTSD from when the guys were running into the walls and tearing stuff. So
I think Votto will get his Joe Flacco run this year with somebody.
Joe Flack, man. Well, man. Joe Flack. How has it been almost like a month since the Super Bowl already? Like, that's sick. Time just goes by way too fast sometimes. So,
I don't know who the bench is going to be on the Sox, honestly.
So that was going to be my next question. Jay Deach, we on the same page. So what do you think about the bench? Is there anybody that's like making a name for themselves? Is there anybody that's like on there that's like, ooh, who's this guy? But so who do you see anybody that we should keep an eye out for?
One of them is locked either at Stassi or Maldonado, just depending on. But I think they're going to just split games pretty much.
Yeah, there's no way Martin Maldonado can be a full-time starting catcher at this point, right?
Which is fine. I mean, I've heard Maldonado is very liked by players, specifically that like all of them rant and rave about him, which that alone is just like, well, he hit more home runs than Yasmani Grandal last year. Fucking asshole. So
that's so funny. The one, if there's not a guy in the league right now more notorious for like not being a threat at the plate, and he hit more homers than Yaz last season. That's so funny.
Yeah, he hit like 15.
Did you see where Yaz went, Justin?
Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know if you saw that or not. That's so. I mean,
listen. Tabs on all my exes, Tino.
Huh?
I said I keep tabs on all my exes.
All of the exes. Oh, speaking of exes, guys, an ex-White Sox pitcher, Mr. Lucas Giolito, is out for the year.
Yeah, that sucks.
Did you guys see that?
Yeah, that's tough.
And that, like, I never wish hurt on anybody, but this is just one of those things you never know what's going to happen. And people even make comments about bringing back Giolito, and it's like, we signed him, he'd be gone, he'd be out for the year, and so it's just one of those things. Like, I love Giolito and everything else like that, but this is just a scenario you don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. And it's like, I hope Giolito could figure it out, but this is just like you said earlier, you never know what's going to happen, and you got to make sure that you sign the right guys and everything else like that, because again, now Boston's looking for another pitcher.
They just signed some guy today.
Oh, did they?
Not Lucas Giolito, and I mean, and it's not even like he's an elite arm. I mean, no, I mean, injury or not, they need to move away from as many players as they can from whatever the hell happened the last few years. And they,
well, yeah, oh yeah.
The thing that I love, Getz has done a few things that I'm a fan of, but the one is that every opportunity he's had to do that, besides trading Cease this offseason, which is whatever, Getz has moved away from those guys. Doesn't want to run it back, wants to at least start new and change the culture, not, without, and that was never going to happen if these guys who were around for all those bad years and all the shit that happened the last 2 years, you need to get as many of those guys out of there as possible, because they're obviously none of them were the solution. I don't think they're all the problem, and that's just the taste in their mouth. And that's, just reestablish the standard. I don't know if Pedro's the guy to do that, but I know that the last group wasn't. So,
well, yeah, and that's the thing. Like, even listening to the interviews that Chuck is Dylan Cease on every Friday. Like him and Kopech keep going back and forth, and they keep ruining each other's interviews. And it's just like little stuff like that. Like even the last few years, like you wouldn't see guys like interrupt each other's interviews and have a conversation with each other and stuff like that. So it seems like, at least from like the podcast I've listened to, it seems like the spirits are up and everybody is excited and everybody's kind of like trying to, do their best to like bring in new things. And, I will say one guy that I do not think is going to make the team is Mr. Mike Moustakis. The numbers I've seen, he doesn't look that great. Deech, is that true from the games too, or is he just not playing as much? That, because I know they do like the double squad too, like the double team or whatever.
He is not really hit for power. I think he has like one hit and a walk or two. Although Pedro has made comments that just spring training statistics don't necessarily make the decision for them. Like there's other things. So Sheets does have an option where if you wanted to sit and roll with Moustakis at any point, you're not paying him very much where you can cut him loose. So who knows? But I personally don't think I've seen anything out of him that jumps off the screen to me as being like he should be on this team, because you don't need that many veterans. I mean, if you're Maldonado and Stassi are pretty much a lock at this point. All of the pitchers keep referencing that Dylan Cease is the veteran leader of the whole pitching staff, and everyone pretty much follows him. Which
who would have thought?
That'll make you feel old, Jesus.
Right? Like I was gonna say, like it's not even like been that long. Like, oh my God, are we getting that old, guys? Is that what's going on? I just feel like.
But I will say, Scott Boras must have had a conversation with him and been like, you need to come out of your shell and be more like, just not like closed off, because I've never seen him be so like just vocal and have like an actual, like every video you see, he's interrupting like interviews and making jokes and stuff like that. So obviously someone told him he needs to be more marketable for his own benefit. That kind of came out.
No, that's a great point. I hadn't thought about that, but now that you say a lot of that, I feel like I have seen a lot of him this spring in videos and stuff like that. And I guess I just chalked it up to, well, yeah, I mean, he's one of the two marketable players on the team right now. But at the same time, now that you say that, and now like that wasn't really him before, that probably is what happened.
I mean, in the comments they make about how much they disliked his mustache last year is hysterical. I don't know about you, but that stuff just, I don't know. It just, again, like they always talk about like being a team and everything. Like I said, always last year, I don't care if I have Joe Schmo on my team. If they all play like team, shit, Nicky Lopez can hit 330 and whatever. I'm fine with Nicky Lopez. You know what I mean? It's just
yeah, and not Nicky necessarily, but you have dudes who have been in way better clubhouses than the Sox. Like these guys came up, and a lot of them, were left. They built so much internally because they wouldn't fucking sign anybody, any real player to come in and be like a leader, and they counted on the kids for a lot of it, and there a few bad seeds in there, and it just seemed like it just spread. And now it's the exact opposite this year, where it's like you said, Deech, like they only need so many veterans. Like you have the young too, but I love having guys who have been elsewhere. My adage is that I love. Give me anybody who learned how to play baseball literally anywhere else. And
yeah.
I will have more confidence in them than anybody who came up through our system as a lifelong White Sox.
Well, even with Nicky
Lopez, a lot
of
that this year.
Nicky Lopez was in Kansas City for the longest time, but he did get traded to the Braves last year. I mean, being that is a team you want to be in that clubhouse.
I mean, we all saw it. We all saw it in person. We just saw them. The first pitch, the game was over. So I mean, shit. Didn't they have like 6 guys that had like over like 300 batting average, like 20 plus home runs and something like that? So keep going. Sorry, I just wanted to mention it. Well, yeah.
Now they have Aaron Bummer and Chris Sale. Go Bravos.
That's right. That's what I was trying to figure. I saw that video. I was trying to figure out. I'm like, what team is that? Because I saw the colors, but I couldn't see like the like logo. I was like, what the heck team is that? But the fact that they have I hope the best for Sale, but he's another one that just can't stay healthy. He's just like, so
You always knew that was going to happen with him long term, though, just with his frame and the way he throws. But
how fast he threw, man. But when he pitched, man, it was just so nice to watch. Sometimes, like there were times I just wanted to watch his games. They were just like so great.
Rodon's velocity has been down and everything.
What'd you say? You like left for a second.
Rodon's velocity has been down, right?
Oh,
yeah, Rodon's been struggling. I don't
well,
know.
isn't he on the Yankees still?
The Yankees are royally fucked if any of their starting pitching goes down. They got Juan Soto, but you gave up all of your pitching depth for that.
I'm
waiting to get the notification from Jeff Passan that they signed Montgomery or Snell, because I just don't understand.
Shit, why? Well, I mean, if I'm them, I'd sign both of them. I mean, you can never have too much pitching, right? I mean, you got the money. They got all the money in the world. I mean,
I do not see them being a team that actually trades for Cease. I don't think Brian Cashman has the fucking balls to sit there and give up Spencer. He thinks Spencer Jones is like Aaron Judge Jr. or whatever. There's no way he's giving up.
Aaron Judge Jr.
Yeah, that's nasty, but they still aren't the best team in the AL, I don't think.
No.
I mean, maybe, but
I mean, it's going to be interesting just in all of the MLB, like in general. It's going to be really interesting to see how a lot of these teams play, and a lot of everybody remembers like the Rays were so good, but the Rays also started like 22 and like 5 or some BS or whatever that was. So it's not like that's going to happen again. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens like when some teams, and what if another team does like what the Rays could do, because I think teams like Cincinnati could do that. I think there's a few teams that could like surprise people, and there's always that team in the beginning of the season, like the Pirates last year. Well, the Pirates came in and beat the shit out of us, and then all of a sudden they were in last place in July. So
that dude got hurt, O'Neal Cruz, right? That's the dude.
Yeah,
and then Tampa. Little known secret about baseball and sports in general: your season doesn't get derailed as hard if your starting shortstop isn't having sex with teenagers and getting arrested in what was it, the DR or whatever. I mean, like that's.
I mean, what is going on? I mean, I'm sure you've heard also about the Vince McMahon stuff, man. I mean, like, what is going on in this world? Like, it's like, what is going on? Like these guys, they get like all of this, they got all the like. It's just, it's so like I don't know, man. Like, it's insane. So who's even taking over for him now on the Rays? Does anybody have any idea? Or are they just
whoever their shortstop was to end last season? I'm sure some internal guy.
They signed Ahmed Rosario.
There we go. That's what I was looking for. Ahmed,
like $1 million. It's
that's
like
right. Okay,
deal, which is like nothing. But hey,
I mean, he does the job. He's no Franco, but I mean, like he is still.
Yeah, but I think that's a good thing.
And that's the thing. Well, and that's the thing. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I mean? Like we could see teams like the Pirates like continue, or like there's, it seems like it's just like in the NFL every year. Like you said, we're gonna see somebody have like a Joe Flacco year in the MLB. It's every year. They'll probably be a superstar that gets down and goes hurt. There's always a rookie that breaks out, like flipping the dude from Cincinnati last year. What's his name? How do you say it?
Oh, Ellie De La Cruz.
Yeah, Ellie De La Cruz. There we go. I don't know why I was trying to say his name, but yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things you really just never know what's going to happen. And again, 3 weeks until the season starts from today. A lot can happen, and I mean,
the Diamondbacks went to the World Series last year. We weren't sitting here singing their praises on March 7th.
Nah, yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. You don't know who. Yeah. So, Deech, what were you gonna say?
Speaking of problem players like Wander Franco, I am glad. I mean, I did at one point want the Sox to sign Clevenger prior to all of the moves being made. Now I'm fine with the rotation we're likely going to roll out or whatever.
Did he sign anywhere?
No, not yet. But I will. Getz has literally removed any sort of player that would just piss people off. Because ultimately at this point, there's no reason. Like, people are like, go sign Trevor Bauer. It's like, why?
Why, right? Like,
fan base
right.
So much.
Like, without even getting into all that, if all that existed or not, it wouldn't make any sense to do
because
that. Because
I mean, last year I felt like half of spring training was people just pissing and moaning about Clevenger.
Yeah.
I mean,
it literally consumed and
that's all the dudes at camp were being interviewed about.
Yeah, it wasn't Clevenger's fault, but it was just like how it just took the focus away from being excited for baseball because you had two divided groups being like, well, I think this. And it's just like, all right, I would just like to enjoy baseball. I mean,
Literally.
Clevenger was our best pitcher last year. You can't deny that. I mean,
I'm trying to forget last year. I don't even. I think there's like 3 games I remember, and that's just because they were so bad losses. Like they'll just be ingrained in my head. But I mean, I'm just trying to like forget about it. And you're absolutely right with that because if you think about it, who's really left? Vaughn, Robert, Benintendi, Cease, Kopech, Moncada. Oh, that's right. Moncada and Eli. How do I keep forgetting about Moncada and Eli? But I mean, like that's the thing. Like you got rid of Anderson. You've gotten rid of. I mean, there's so many guys that would. Yes. I mean, there's so many guys on the teams that the team from last year. From right now, like if you look at the team right now, like that's what I think we should do next week is look at the team from last year to this year, and just it's completely different, which is a good thing because you have new faces, there's no. It seems like there'll be no egos, and everybody's trying to like work together to fix this. Because they even said in one of the interviews that they want to find a way to get people to want to come here. Because as we said in the beginning, nobody wants to come here right now because they know how bad it was. The fact that they had to beg Pilar to come here. He did though for a reason. So
that's sad. They have to win over a guy who might not even make the opening day roster.
I mean, and that's the thing. But I mean, if he could go somewhere else and be like, oh well, it's fixed, then because he's one of those, he's a journeyman. He goes on a bunch of teams. So
I will say Getz though. Getz has done a very good job of explaining every move he's made. Even the fact of like having such an emphasis on defense, he flat out in some sort of interview or like news conference or whatever. I think it was a Zoom conference or something. He said he sat down with multiple pitchers like when free agency began, and all of them flat out said, I'm very hesitant to come here because your defense is so bad. Why would I pitch you? Why would I want to pitch there over another team?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And
it's valid. Rick Hahn was so fucking bad at building rosters. It's actually unbelievable. One of the things he did well, Deech, you mentioned it earlier, he would get a high return for rental players, whatever. He made some solid trades, but oh my God. And putting a team together, and there was just never a plan B for anything. Everything just had to go perfect. Basically just have a career year. That's why it's the joke. Yeah, I mean, I like Getz a lot more than I liked Hahn. Now, Getz has had one winter, and a winter where we have no expectations to put a competitive team together. So it's not. My opinion of him is hardly sealed, but a lot of what he's doing, I at least believe in the process of it a lot more than the last guy.
I mean, it's like Rick Hahn was playing like my GM on baseball instead of like the NBA or wrestling. He was like trying to build a team with like $3 million. Like we're building it's like, bro, like what are we doing here?
And I will ask you this: are you willing to give Pedro Grifol a second chance, or are you just like completely like I want him out when we're competitive?
Oh, I want him out when we're competitive. I think he won't survive. I think that they're going to lose 95 to 100 games, and he gets canned at the end of the season when they have another year of massive roster turnover. And I mean, you're not. If he loses, he lost 101 games last year, or was it 100 on the dot?
101.
Okay,
so sad.
He loses it again this year. They have nobody on the roster next season, like on the books right now, damn near. So they're going to have to get a lot of people to want to come play here and surround this next batch of prospects, your Ramos, Montgomery, whatever the hell, with good veteran presence and set them up for success a lot better than they did the last time around with the last group. So I just don't. Pedro Grifol is not going to be well respected enough amongst the league and among veterans and to actually draw anybody here to build out that roster around them. If they have another bad season this year, he's gone. I mean, if I'm giving him a second chance, like sure, if they surprise the hell out of me this year and they're competitive and interesting and it seems like the guys are buying into him, then sure, he can stick around. But I don't think that that's going to happen. I think this is his last year as the manager. He probably shouldn't even be getting this one.
Do you think if we lose 100 games, do you think we lose the 100 games better than we did last year, or do you think it's as bad as it was last year? Or it's worse,
No, it can't be worse. It literally can't be worse because
right? It can't be, right? I mean,
guys aren't going to be playing out of position. Guys will be able to field their position. Like, they're good up the middle. Like, as much as I'll mock that all season because like that being that guy's defense for why they won't suck. It takes a lot more than that, but it is true. Like, defensively, they're better at positions that have more of a I guess you need to be good at defensively, and they have right fielders are going to play right field, not first baseman. So
And
it can't be worse.
Right.
It should be clean baseball. They're just going to lose a lot of games, like 3-1. You know.
well, and they have a catcher who can throw out guys.
Hey, that's good.
Any base you wanted on the Sox last year, like the Cubs figured that out the one game, and I was like, "Oh, this is dangerous." They stole like 6 bases on the Sox.
Oh my god!
Every other team in the league doesn't find out that you can literally just run on Yasmani Grandal whenever you want to.
Even Houston won the year that we went to the playoffs. I just remember sitting there like, Jesus Christ, just throw a fucking guy out. It was like every time they'd get on base, anyone in their fucking lineup would just steal second base, and or take the next base on a single, where you're just like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, exactly. It can't be worse because that shouldn't be happening. All that little stuff. Like, a loss is a loss. Like, they're all the same, and I won't hate the guys as much. Like, I grow such a resentment toward a lot of those guys by the end of last season, like, fairly or not. It happened. I mean, Tim was one of my favorite players to ever come through here, but I was so ready to see that era come to an end because I don't like the outside noise. Deech, I'm with you. Like what you said about Clevenger, like, it's just good that that's just removed.
Well, yeah, and that's the biggest thing where, like you said, it's like the resentment where it just like this is not what it was supposed to be, but it's just like they just got the wrong guys and it just didn't work to what they were hoping for. And again, if it would have went a different way, then it would have went a different way. But you know, it is what it is, and they moved on. And again, like you said, I mean, again, and if Tim like was that big of an issue, I mean, we'll see that big right away. I mean, that's like the thing where it's like, you know,
I think that he just needed to get out of it. Like, I think it's good for both parties. Like,
yeah,
but that's not going to fix the fact that he's a terrible shortstop, like defensively. Like,
well, no, and that's the thing because you know he's going to be on a microscope this year. Every time he makes one bad play, it's going to be, oh well, you know. I'm sure we're going to see the fight clip about 1,000,000 times too. I'm sure, especially if they face each other, like the Guardians face the Marlins or whatever. So
I don't know about nationally, but I know that every White Sox fan will have their eyes on everything that he does this season.
Oh, you already know. I'm waiting.
Rooting for their personal agenda.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you got the TA fanboys, you got the TA crybabies, you got the TA people that you know. You got a lot of it. I mean, I've seen people be going out and buying Marlins jerseys. I'm like, what are we doing here? People are too much. Are you gonna go buy it? You're gonna go buy a Marlins jersey?
No, look. I think that's like that. I mean, like, I don't have a problem like with jerseys, but that's childish. It's childish to buy. My hero went to another team. I have to go buy that jersey for them now. Like, I mean, jerseys are fucking expensive, man.
Oh, they're so expensive now. That's why I told people, I said, I'm not buying no more jerseys unless it's the Hall of Famer because I'm tired of buying them and then these guys aren't here no more.
Yeah, buying it through a point. I mean,
speaking of the jerseys, I saw a post today. Someone tweeted it was like a picture of like the Cubs City Connect jersey on Fanatics or wherever they were like looking to buy it, and it was like the authentic one. And it was like $450. And then they're like, there was a signed Nico Horner replica or jersey that was also the City Connect one for like $460. And the guy's like, which one should I buy if I'm serious about it? And it's like, I'd fucking just buy the signed one at that point. That's stupid to like.
I'd buy the signed one on there and go to DH Gate for the one that you actually want to wear to games. I mean, at this point, the DH Gate ones are higher quality than what the shit Fanatics selling us.
I mean, that's very true.
The see-through stuff.
Yeah, and just it looks so bad. Like the
Oh,
see-through.
you don't like see-through? I feel like you'd be a see-through kind of guy. You have a couple drinks in you, you probably want. I mean, you went through this whole great transformation, Deej. I don't know. I mean, you tell me, bro.
I'm not wearing the baseball pants around the stadium. That's the
imagine Deej just walking away. That would be something like we'd have to do like unemployed, where we all play like tag around the White Sox park, and we gotta look for Deech with the White Sox pants or with the baseball pants.
Yeah, go buy a Yoan Moncada used game cup or whatever from the fucking White
Oh,
Sox.
I'm dead.
Some people would.
You already know they would. So, is there anything else though that I haven't talked about that I forgot or that has come up that Deech that you want to talk about, or Justin that you want to talk about?
I said before we got on here that the Tigers were going to win the Central, and you guys.
Oh yeah, that's right. Let's talk about that. So,
who do you guys, if not Detroit? I assume Deej said Minnesota's pitching's bad, but like, are they still good enough to win?
Win
this shit.
I personally do think Detroit is more of a sleeper. I mean, certain things would definitely need to, like, the health of their pitching staff is very important, especially the young guys. Minnesota, how many games is Byron Buxton actually going to play in the outfield? Like, I'm sorry. Everyone hates on our players, but, like, that dude has never been healthy.
Ever. But when he is, he's so good, and it's just like if they could find him, put him in a bubble. I think it's going to be the Guardians again, probably. I mean, I think the Royals very well might be last. I see everybody putting the White Sox last, but I don't think the Royals are better than the White Sox. I think the Royals are still bad. So,
the Royals 5 through 9 in their lineup is so fucking bad. Like, even if you like, the top guys are good, but their lineup is like, if you compare our like projected like 9,
I'm sure Joe Schmo on the Royals will hit a walk-off home run sometime in May or June, but the Royals will still lose a lot of games. They just know how to play baseball against us. That's the problem.
Oh, we can never beat Kansas City.
Bobby Witt Jr. though. I mean,
I feel like people just see the Royals and are like Bobby Witt Jr. and then they're like pencil them in ahead of the Sox. I mean, like the Sox have a lot more potential than Kansas City, and I hate to even use that word because that just makes me sound like I believe it all. But like,
no belief. You're like we gotta get you on Polar Express to start believing a little.
Play the Sox would be significantly better than Kansas City.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about significantly better. I just don't think the Sox will come in last. I mean, I don't know. And that's the thing. With the no expectations, I'm just going to try to enjoy baseball and enjoy the warm weather. And hopefully the few games I do go to, hopefully they win. And Justin, I don't care if we have to drag you. We're going to get you to one game. We go to one game with the two of us. That's all. Just one.
I'll get out there.
He said, I'll get out there. Just one.
We just need to find a giveaway that I want. And then those
there we go.
Care about going to.
That works.
That works. I'm just excited to be going to games where even if they do build a lead at the beginning of the game, you don't know the outcome. Whereas like last year, I'd be sitting there and they'd be up 4 runs and you would get to like the 5th or 6th inning and like the other team would like lead off with a walk and you're like, God damn it.
Literally. It was like, well, this game's over.
It would be every time. You would be like, motherfucker, our bullpen is so bad now.
I remember the one game last year. They were up like 6-2, and then all of a sudden it was like the 7th inning, and then they got 1 run. Then they got 2. I'm just like, then it's tied. I'm like, you guys all suck. Like we just couldn't close games last year. Also, the Red Sox did also sign Liam Hendriks, so good for Liam getting another team and just switching color socks.
That made even people who wanted to re-sign him made even less sense than people who wanted to re-sign bring back TA. Why?
Yeah,
like, I love Liam. It's not.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. I just wanted to mention that. I'm trying. There's like things that pop in my head, but yeah.
No. What you said just made me think of that. Like, where's Liam's place on? He can't. Can he even fucking pitch this year?
Like September or later, likely when he turn.
Well, and that's the thing. He's just going to be there to like help the guys and like everything. Like the fact that we're going to go into this year and the fact that the Yankees and Red Sox are not going to be the AL East like top team is kind of crazy. The fact that the Orioles are going to go in as favorites.
Are the Orioles favorites or is it the Yankees?
Is it it's got to be the Orioles, no?
Orioles. not
I
very.
don't know. I have a hard time imagining if I open DraftKings right now, the Orioles are favored over the Yankees to win the AL East because I don't know. That just it does
Everyone
seem
up about the Yankees because of Soto. I don't know. I don't buy that they're pitching. I mean, Stroman was hurt last year for a decent amount in the second half. Garrett Cole has been very healthy. So, I mean, at what point is Rodon?
Oh, Rodon. I'm so happy we didn't bring him. Oh, he's another one, man.
For what it's worth.
What?
The Yankees are the betting favorites to win the AL East for what it's worth. They're 165. The Orioles are 205.
The Orioles, the issue with them is they won 100 games last year, but I mean, a lot went right for them. Consistently.
Yeah.
And I mean, they added Corbin Burns, but who knows?
But is Corbin Burns really going to do anything for them? I don't know. I just feel like Corbin Burns is kind of like a
That was to appease the fans because they got shelled in the playoffs.
Oh, that's right. That's true.
If I were to ask you guys who was the betting favorite to win the NL Central, who would you think?
It's got to be the Reds.
No.
Is it the Cardinals?
It is. I'm astonished. Them and the Cubs are tied technically. I guess I don't realize they're both plus 185.
The thing with the Cardinals is they always just go in and they always just find a way. And every year
overperform, but like their team's so old. They have Lance Lynn, dude.
Is that where he went? So wait, the Dodgers don't even have him no more?
No, that's why that trade was.
That's great. See, I thought he was still on the dot. That's fantastic. That's right. You know, I do remember that now. That's right because they were making. Oh, he's going back home where he won his. That's right. Now, okay, that's funny as hell. Who else they got on that team?
My boy Keenan Middleton signed with.
Who?
And
who did he sign with again?
St. Louis.
Oh, that's right. Oh, so that's right, guys. We're gonna buy Deech a Middleton jersey now.
Yeah, I can't even. I don't even. Their team is old. I don't even know who the hell is all even on there. I just know that they're all old as hell.
They'll find a way into the playoffs. So I'm gonna go through the chat real quick. If there's anything else you guys can think of, bring it up. But I just want to get through the chat before people that don't think. But we have 57 people in the chat right now. So watching from X, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Appreciate all of you guys coming here and hanging out. But we got Eric in the house. Being a fan of this team seems like you're in the state championship game. You know what should be the game-winning TD with 5 seconds left. Then the other team runs. Eric, shut up. What's up, Lamar? Thank you, Lamar, coming and hanging out. What's up, Daniel? Eric, why you gotta be such a bully to the White Sox, man? Just because you're an Astros fan. What's up, Daniel? Yeah, I would hope so, but probably not. I ain't getting my hopes up. No playoffs. Probably not. What's up, Cool Gamer?
Playoffs.
Moore is my favorite. At the time he was, we can say it because he was a Cleveland Indian player. I don't think. Yeah, no. What year did they change it was only 21? Did they finally change it to the Guardians?
Yeah,
I don't think it was even until 22, isn't it?
Was it? Well, I was gonna say it was just recently.
it was probably the Josh Naylor year.
Oh, I hate Josh Naylor. I hate that guy. I don't want Corey Lee. You can have Corey Lee back.
Okay, if Corey Lee can figure out how to hit, he actually.
He said if he can learn how to hit. Well, that's the problem. He can't hit.
No, he's hit in the minors, but if they can work with him and actually get him to hit, his arm and pop time or whatever the fuck you want to call it, he has a strong ass arm and could potentially. Because no offense, Maldonado and Sassy are not going to be the catchers the whole season. I highly doubt. No, one's going to get dumped.
Yeah.
So,
do you think we see Cuero at all this year or Caro? Is it Caro, right?
Caro, Edgar Caro.
Caro. I said Cuero. Oops. Caro. Do you think we see him at all this year?
I think they're going to make him earn it next year in spring training, but I don't think he'll be up there. I mean, maybe in late September when you get that extra call up spots or whatever, but I just don't see why rush a guy. He's what, 9? I think he's 20 years old, maybe.
Yeah.
Old, so.
No, and I agree with you. Let's do this correctly. That's not just to rush the guy.
I'm also very against any sort of extensions of any sort.
To who? To anybody?
Fucking anyone. I mean, other than like Robert, I mean, you could maybe extend him if you wanted to like add a few years to his contract. But I mean, thank God we didn't try and extend Colas or didn't successfully.
Oh my God, imagine.
Us. Even with Montgomery, it's like kind of just let it play out at this point. We've been burned.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean they can't do that again.
No, that's why I feel like that's why they brought in Lopez. They brought in DeYoung. I mean, these guys have been around. I mean, DeYoung's been on the Cardinals, and like we just said, the Cardinals always finding a way to win. So, and that goes back to what Justin said about bringing in guys from teams that actually win, that know how to win, and that know what the heck they're doing.
Know what culture looks like. Yeah.
Yes, that's the big thing. I got a wrestling question here. Eric asked. I will answer this because Justin and Deech. I try to get him into wrestling, guys. They just don't want to do it. We tried, but he asked me about one of the wrestlers before you. Is Sky part of the HOB, or I feel like she's just part of Julia's group. I don't think she's officially a part of that because that promo they did last night, she wasn't there. It was just Julia. I should go front row. I love TA and Jake Berger. I hate the fanboys that cry and whine like there's nothing else that matters in the world besides these guys. That it's a business. It is what it is. It happens. I mean, shit. If I get over Burley going to the Marlins and the Blue Jays, I think I'm okay. That was hard.
Yeah.
I remember him facing the White Sox one game. He pitched like 7 innings. I'm like, damn, this is what it must feel like for the other teams now. Like, this sucks. Now I know why we loved him so much.
Yeah, he was the man.
Oh man, I love Burley. Speaking of that, did you guys see that? Me and Deech kind of talked. Did you guys see that they're doing the 20 years for 2005? Was that you?
Yeah, the money grab to get people off the Sox Fest. Yeah. Oh yeah, I saw that.
He said yeah.
Yeah. That comes back conveniently. Sox Fest. And they can parade Joe Creedy and Aaron Rowan around and do. Hey, remember when we won the World Series and then never tried to be good again?
Well, it looks like Justin isn't going to Sox Fest.
No, I mean, I was there for the tenure with those dudes. It was awesome, but it just gets more and more. They're becoming more and more like the '85 Bears every fucking year.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
My God. That's a whole nother podcast about the goddamn Bears situation. Oh my God, I can't even. It gives me a headache.
I did see. Referring to a throwback guy, I did see that Jim Tomei, someone said his job title is actually a special assistant to the GM now. So that's a bit intriguing to see him getting more involved with the organization.
Because he's been involved with the Guardians for a while, right? Because he obviously played for them. And didn't they retire his number?
They did, but he's been more affiliated with the Sox. But
yeah, because he lives around here or lived around here.
Okay, no, maybe I'm thinking of AJ because is AJ part of MLB, like the network? Is that what, or Fox? Is it
AJ
Fox?
Works for Fox.
Is it Fox? Okay. Because I always wonder, I'm like when he did the games, like he would never actually obviously he can't be biased or anything, but Speaking of the Tigers and stuff, Jason Benetti made his debut for the Tigers today, so good for Benetti. I wonder what we're doing. No more Sox math, guys. What the heck?
Well, because they let that Chris Kamka guy walk to the Cubs, too.
Wait, what? Chris Campa's gone?
Yeah, Chris Kamka.
What the hell? Really?
Yeah, but I'm sorry. This is no offense to Kamka, but, if we are supposed to suck and everyone thinks we're going to suck, I don't give a fuck, if we have the best goddamn production team, fix what's on the field.
Yeah.
I agree. It's much more just, extra salt on the wound, but you're correct. And, people were really weird about Jason this offseason. I love Jason when he was great. I mean, it wasn't they acted like we were losing Hawk again. I mean, Jason's the guy. Don't get me wrong. I never for the rest of my life, I said this to you guys yesterday in our chat, need to watch my play-by-play guy devour stadium foods in the booth. I will say the once you said that, I thought about it more. And he did eat a lot, and and that's nothing against him. I mean, that's just what he did. But I mean, he's a great play-by-play guy. He's the reason he's a rising star in the industry. But
yeah, I mean, I always say I'm kind of one of those where I do appreciate Jason because he kind of has the same situation that I had, and we've kind of went through the same thing. So it's I kind of have that with him, but it's one of those things. It's still again, they did act like it was Hawk, and it's he was only here for this and that. And it's like Deech said, it seems like the other guy has a lot more enthusiasm, and they've kind of like, it seems like they're bringing a whole new everything. It's like they're like rebranding everything in a way. So
and they need to, yeah. Benetti falls on the same thing as like, let's just, I don't hate closing that era as much as possible. Like,
yeah, and again, and I don't even know we could call it an era because it's like an era we just want to blank out. I feel like it's like one of those things I just want to wake up and just remember like the last time we were semi good.
It was confirmed that the people with like the 100 level concourse is open to everyone now. They're not going to restrict you. Previous years where if you had like 300 or 500 level tickets, you are able to go down to the concourse now, which is nice because every ballpark does that. So
yeah,
that works.
Good to bring that back.
Now Deets don't have to sit all the way high up, and we could like sit somewhere and be able to see.
I like my seats.
No. I don't like your seats though, bro. They scary, and I'm gonna fall, and I'm gonna jump, and like I don't. It gives me anxiety just thinking about it.
I like sitting upstairs, Deech.
I'm in the stadium club.
No, an upper deck. I mean, I really don't ever care where I'm sitting in the park, to be quite honest.
Oh, okay. See, okay, then I'm just picking.
I'm not very picky about it.
That's me.
It's fine.
I'm picky. It's my fault.
Just more affordable. I'd rather sit in behind home plate in the upper deck than go sit in the outfield where I can't fucking see half of the shit going on. I mean, because I don't know. I'm past the whole phase of like only going to like sit there and get like blasted or anything. So like the outfield.
Wait, you're past that phase? I thought that phase just started.
No.
I thought we were like
man drives to every game. I mean,
True.
I drive to most of them, so I mean that kind of limits.
He said, "Damn." He said, yeah. I can't do it now."
That's okay. Designated driver stand each game. So
there we go. We got to get big enough so we could hire a driver, and then me and you could just go to all the games and have our driver take us. Just show up in a limo every game. That would be fun. Yes, I will be going to some games this year. I want to go to a few games. My uncle is making me go to opening day. I didn't want to go, but now he's telling me I have to go, so I guess I'm going to opening day. We'll see. It will be interesting to see what happens with the Cease trade, because if they do start off good, we'll see what happens. If they start off bad, we'll see what happens. It's going to see, and again, it's going to be in seeing what the teams will give up, because Getz should get what he wants and what he gets, and as we just said, Cease is now the veteran. He's like one of the pieces that they got left, so he should get a lot for him. I mean, the fact that we got 5 or 6 guys for Aaron Bummer, I mean, we should get a good haul for Dylan Cease if they do trade him. But I don't know. We got Warren buzzing with Marlowe in the house. What's up, buzzing with Marlowe? Is this even an accurate record? I don't even know if that add up to 162, 85, and 75. I feel like that's off.
That does not have a 2 in that then.
85 and 75. No, that's no.
I was gonna say okay. Yeah, that's got to be way more. Yeah, no.
60. If
we win 85 games, we could win the division.
I mean,
that would be 85 and 77, and they're not doing that.
I mean, Chris, I will hold this part. If it anywhere close to that, Chris, I will give you the credit at the end of the year. But I mean, you're right. 85 wins very well could win the division.
85 wins probably will win. That's what
he said. They probably will.
If this team wins 85 games, that would be one of the greatest accomplishments in the history of organized sport.
We're going to be. I think Chuck said it. Pedro would win comeback, or Pedro would win manager of the year. Chris Getz would win executive of the year. Moncada must be playing all-star baseball. Eloy must have 40 home runs. I mean, there's a lot of things that got to go right for all that to happen. Again, don't put it out of the window, but I ain't getting excited until I actually see it on the field. I'm going out of limbo. They do not win the AL Central. Chris, I appreciate you supporting and hoping, but it's not going to happen.
You're right about that, Chris.
Chris, we will dunk on all of these motherfuckers if the White Sox win the division. Because he's just
going to just come on here and just be like stone cold out of your party and like he's at WrestleMania.
They can.
I mean, let's just hope. Let's just pray that we come here on Thursdays and we're actually talking about winning some series, and it's not 2-4, 1-5, 0-6. 0-12.
All I'm saying, is you are being forced to go to opening day. I am choosing myself
Listen.
to either bring glory or torture myself.
Listen, it's not like forcing me to go to opening day. I just personally I would rather stay home and win than me go to opening day and continue to lose and have to sit there and watch this team play like shit. I'd rather, at least if they play good at home, that's great. If they play like shit at home, I could turn the TV off and go watch something else.
It won 2 years ago on the home opener.
I know, and I wasn't there.
Against Seattle, remember?
Yeah, I wasn't there. I was watching my cousin. Me and my cousin were supposed to go, and my uncle only got one ticket for himself. So the last 2 years we went, and they've lost. So somebody was sharing a clip of that San Francisco game. I'm like, why are we doing this? Can we not? All they did was have batting practice that day. It still remembers. It still gives me. Okay, that's 188 games or 87 games, Chris. Imagine. I mean, if the Sox make the playoffs and the Astros don't, the only thing that's going to make me happy to see is to see Maldonado in the playoffs and have to watch Jose Abreu and not Jose Altuve sit at home and cry. So that would be the only thing. I don't know. But is there anything else you guys got? I think this is good for today until we watch more games and all that good stuff. Got anything else, Deech?
Nope, I'm good to go.
He said I'm good to go. Well, everybody, I think that's how we'll end it here today. It's a good episode. We'll be back here next Thursday at the same time to talk more baseball, everything else like that. Guys, we had 62 people in here all at once here in the chat between all the social medias. So thank you guys all for coming here and hanging out. We have 44 people watching from the Southside boys. So, Deech, whatever you're doing is working, bro. Keep doing that. So, appreciate everybody on Southside Boys here on YouTube, on Twitch, on Tino's Time, on Twitter, all that good stuff. Remember, guys, we'll be here live tonight in about 45 minutes as we come back here for another WrestleMania, as we got 6 left to go on the Retro Series, and it's WrestleMania number 10. Come and hang out. As we hang out, it's Tino and DJ tonight. No Jugs and no Cyber. Just Tino and DJ tonight as we come and watch WrestleMania 10. We got Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels in the infamous ladder match that started it all. So come and hang out here as we go back in the time machine and watch that. But guys, thank you for coming and hanging out with us three here today. Go follow Deech, Southside Deech. Go follow the Southside Boys. Go follow Justin on Twitter, all that good stuff. You go and make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and TikTok. There we go. I keep forgetting we got a TikTok now. We almost got it all. So that's good. But guys, go follow all those social medias. Become a member. Leave a super chat or two. All that good stuff. If you can, I understand. But make sure to double check to hit that like button. I've been looking at the stats. Looks like a lot of you guys watch, but you guys don't hit that like button. You forget to. And a lot of you guys don't subscribe. So if you can, double check. If you like any of the content we do here on Tino's Time, the Southside Boys, please hit that subscribe button. We are one away to 1750. So let's get that before we go live in 45 minutes, guys. But until next time and until next Thursday, guys, this is just your boys from the Southside Boys signing out. And we will see you next week here for another episode as we talk some Chicago White Sox baseball. So, guys, go eat some dinner, and I'll see you in 45 minutes for WrestleMania 10.